Hello, I'm Don Machholz. I would like to thank the Astronomical League for presenting to me the 2021 Leslie Peltier Award. It is given to me for my 12 comet discoveries and numerous contributions to observational astronomy. Although I never met Leslie Peltier, I read his book back in the late 1960s and in August of 1977 bought my own copy. The year that I began systematically comet hunting, I wrote to Leslie Peltier a couple times and I described to him my comet hunting procedures. After I discovered my first comet in September 1978, he wrote back to me and he said that my determination and perseverance proves the old proverb, keeping everlastingly at it brings success. He also said that he never did more than 100 hours of comet hunting in any one year, and that he had stopped comet hunting a few years before. Mr. Peltier discovered 12 comets, but only 10 of those comets bear his name. 2 of those 12 comet discoveries are what are known as independent discoveries. That happens to all of us. I've had a couple myself. You discover a comet, you find a comet that appears to be new, and you don't get your name on it because you were late in reporting it, or it already has 3 names on it, or it could be a lost returning comet that several people see at one time, or perhaps it's a faint comet that outburst and suddenly it's bright enough for you to pick it up. In his book, Starlight Nights, Leslie describes how he carved the designation of the comets that he discovered into his telescope tube. Inspired by that, after I discovered my first comet, I stenciled, not carved, into my cardboard telescope tube the designation of my first comet discovery. Just as Leslie Peltier spent a summer picking strawberries in order to buy a telescope, so I had a couple early morning newspaper routes to earn the money to buy one of my telescopes. One more thing that I have in common with Leslie Peltier is the cows. The cows that come by at night while I'm observing. And these aren't even our cows. You got to be careful where you walk. That's one thing that's not covered in the book. Leslie is just as well known for his variable star work. He made observations of over 130,000 variable star observations in his lifetime, and that is quite a feat. I've made nearly 1,000 comet magnitude estimates, and I've also made magnitude estimates of over 13,000 telescopic meteors that I have seen in my 8,800 hours of visual comet hunting. Visual comet hunting began in 1760 with Charles Messier being the first to find comets that would bear his name. Altogether, Charles Messier has 12 comets that bear his name. But the time of visual comet hunting seems to be coming to an end. The sky is now being searched for asteroids that might one day hit us by sky surveys that automatically cover the sky. And the comets that get past those big sky surveys, well, we've got amateur astronomers out with cameras and CCDs, and they find many of the rest. I began visual comet hunting because I enjoy the view of the night sky through the telescope. And I continue visually comet hunting for the same reason. There's only a few of us who are now still searching visually for comets. Charles Messier was the first person to visually discover 12 comets that bear his name. And here, 260 years later, I'll probably be the last. I'm also being presented this award for my observational astronomy. I was one of the inventors of the Messier Marathon, as was Tom Ryland, who received this award in 2019. In the past 40 years, I've done over 50 Messier marathons, and I've written a couple books on it. In 1981, I did something called the Massive Marathon, in which I found 599 objects in one night. And that was of a list of 650 deep sky objects, a catalog that I put together myself. I'm presently working on a book so that others can do that feat. Observational astronomy is what got me interested in astronomy itself. Looking at the sky when I was a young boy of 8 back in the last millennia. More recently, I've spent 20 years doing public star parties so that thousands of people can see the sky. I also taught observational astronomy at the local nature center and at the junior college. My current podcast, Looking Up with Don, is all about observational astronomy. Thank you again for the 2021 Leslie Peltier Award. I close with the words of an old comet hunter: keeping everlastingly at it brings success.